For years, we've warned you. The adrenochrome trade doesn't just prey on the innocent, it feeds on them. Now, damning documents obtained by Judicial Watch have cracked the case wide open, exposing how officials from the Obama and Biden administrations played a direct role in one of the darkest industries imaginable. We're talking federal contracts, sales receipts, names, dates and dollar amounts, all tied to the harvesting of young children and the trafficking of unborn lives. And if that wasn't disturbing enough, we've got undercover footage, candid moments, powerful people laughing, bragging about the riches this horror show has brought them, the mansions, the sports cars, the blood money. Still think this is just a conspiracy theory? Stay with us. What you're about to hear isn't speculation, it's evidence. Before we dive in, join the TPV free speech community over on Soju. Soju is a digital space where ideas and information can take place without any annoying algorithms or restrictive rules getting in the way of free expression. What you're about to see is stone cold proof. Not rumours, not speculation, official government documents. Released through federal court orders, reluctantly confirming the unthinkable. This isn't about medicine, this is about money, power, control. A supply chain of the unborn, feeding a multi-billion-dollar adrenochrome industry with federal approval. And all roads lead back to Obama.
As the president of Judicial Watch, can you comment on reports of records that you have received from the Obama administration, FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, of communications and contracts with a human fetal tissue provider that seems to show the FDA was buying, quote, intact calvarium baby skulls, 18 to 24 weeks, for $515 per skull. What do you make of this apparent sale of fetal body parts to the FDA?
Well, it ought to cause both moral and legal outrage on the part of United States citizens and taxpayers, that their tax dollars are being used to purchase basically the dead bodies of unborn human beings. They divvy up their bodies, they sell their heads, they sell their livers, they sell other aspects of their body, and you see the price list.
Evidence this damning doesn't call for a press release, it demands prosecution, indictments, public trials. Chillingly, the evidence suggests the organs were harvested while the aborted infants were still alive, raising grave questions about the true nature of these procedures.
The documents raise questions about whether the aborted human beings were still alive when the organs were taken from them. The Obama administration obviously was involved in this. The Trump administration figured out what was happening and shut it down.
The elite have been sacrificing children as part of ancient pagan rituals for centuries. And the global elite are still caught up in this evil, using adrenochrome as part of depraved occult rituals to get high and stay young. The elite only have one request when it comes to the skulls and organs of young children, including the unborn. They must be fresh, never frozen, and they are priced higher when they're intact.
Documents previously uncovered in this lawsuit, according to your press release, that the federal government demanded the purchased fetal organs be, quote, fresh, never frozen. What do you make of that?
Well, if you want to, I don't know how any normal person could read that and not be horrified. They wanted the organs shipped on dry ice. This is awful stuff, and it highlights the humanity.
But it's actually happening.
Yeah, and it highlights the, you know, these are organs. This isn't, oh, a clump of cells. These are organs. These are baby skulls up to 24 weeks gestation. So these are, there's no doubt that any normal person would call these a human being. And indeed, their organs are being sold, chopped up and sold. And, you know, we have other documents in another lawsuit that we filed on behalf of the Center for Medical Progress that showed a massive operation in the University of Pittsburgh, again, funded with our tax dollars. Fauci's agency was involved in it as well. So Fauci should be asked about his agency support, in addition to gain of function research, chopping up organs. It was a fetal organ chop shop.
According to Tom Fitton, the federal officials complicit in this gruesome trade in children's body parts must be held accountable. And once you see the evidence we've got coming up, there can be no question. Investigations are long overdue, and prosecutions must follow.
What should someone think about this if they're learning about this for the first time? It just seems like it's sort of jaw-dropping, don't you think?
You know, John, I've been doing this work at Judicial Watch for 23 years. these are the worst documents about government conduct I've ever seen in my life. It's a barbarism that we should all be terribly concerned about, and it should be a priority in terms of investigating how this is being done, why it was done, whether it violated the law, and making sure it stops.
What you're about to hear isn't speculation, it's evidence. Hard, documented proof, pulled from leaked government contracts, lawsuit disclosures, and undercover recordings that rip the mask off the industry built on horror. We're talking about a black market hiding in plain sight, where fetal body parts are sold to the highest bidder, where invoices list prices for fresh organs like it's no different than ordering parts for a car. And behind it all, a web of biotech firms, government agencies, and so-called healthcare providers making a fortune. And they're not hiding their greed. In undercover footage, top-level executives are seen laughing over wine, bragging about the luxury cars, designer handbags, and lavish vacations they're buying, all funded by the trade in unborn human flesh. It's enough to make your blood boil. But the worst part? It's all been happening under the protection of the very institutions we're told to trust. And the mainstream media has been complicit in the cover-up. Coming up, we're pulling back the curtain. You'll hear the names, you'll see the faces, and you'll understand exactly who's been getting rich off the bodies of the innocent. Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. Under Biden, the price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor, thanks to fenbendazole.
2 years ago, Joe Tippins says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippins says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkouts. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Planned Parenthood executives have been caught harvesting the organs and body parts of children for VIP elites and boasting about the luxury items and lavish lifestyles that the trade in dead children affords them. Dr. Mary Gatter, the director of the Los Angeles branch of Planned Parenthood, was caught on video negotiating the price of very specific body parts favored by the elites, who use the body parts in the consumption of adrenochrome. This video is revealing, because Dr. Gatter specifically confirms that she's willing to provide thymus liver pairs to prospective buyers. She also confirms that she has colleagues in other parts of California operating a network that sells the same body parts to elite buyers.
We agreed that $100 would keep you happy.
Well, let me agree to find out from other affiliates in California what they're getting, and if they're getting substantially more, then we can discuss it together.
Yes.
But the money is not the important thing.
No,
it has to be big enough that it's
but it is something to talk about. I mean, it's one of the first things that you brought up, right? So
we're able to get a liver thymus pair. Maybe that is $75 per specimen, and so that's for for liver thymus pair, and that's $150. Versus if we can get liver thymus, brain hemisphere, and all that, then and then so that protects us so that we're not paying for what we can't use.
Let me just figure out what others are getting, and if this is in the ballpark, and that's fine. If it's still low, then we should talk about it. You would. I want a Lamborghini. I said I want a Lamborghini.
Don't we all, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is damning stuff caught on film. And yet the mainstream media is still running cover for Planned Parenthood and the Hollywood elite they service. And we're still waiting for justice to be served. According to peer-reviewed medical literature, the thymus gland and the liver are the two main organs used in the production of adrenochrome. The thymus gland is a small organ that produces several hormones, including insulin, and it also regulates adrenaline. It's no surprise that Dr. Gatter was caught negotiating the price of these body parts in Los Angeles, the home of Hollywood. Brave truth-tellers, including Mel Gibson and Jim Caviezel, have blown the whistle on the crimes against children perpetrated by the Hollywood elite. Caviezel appeared at the Clay Clark's Health and Freedom Conference near Tulsa, Oklahoma in 2022, and openly addressed the scourge of child trafficking in Hollywood, revealing that the entertainment industry elite are raping and murdering children for adrenochrome.
You said a word a minute ago, and I want to clarify what that word was, because you said a word, and I want to make sure that you said adrenochrome.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here, there's about 4,500 people here. There's about 500,000 people streaming online. We're having some cyber attacks. That feed's been going on and off. But you said that word, and by a show of hands, who's heard that word before in this building? Could you please explain, to the extent that you want to or not want to, what that is? Because some people have never heard that before, and we need to discuss that.
Essentially, you have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If you're an athlete, you get in the fourth quarter, you have adrenaline that comes out of you. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline, and they have a lot of terms that they use that he takes me through. But it's the worst horror I've ever seen, is screaming alone, even if I never, ever saw it. It's beyond, and these people that do it, there'll be no mercy for them.
And Mel Gibson, who directed Caviezel in The Passion of the Christ and worked with him on The Sound of Freedom, also went on record denouncing Hollywood as a den of parasites who feast on the blood of kids. Hollywood studios are drenched in the blood of innocent children, Gibson said, before going on to reveal that the consumption of baby blood is so popular in Hollywood that it basically operates as a currency of its own. But it's not all darkness. Thanks to the courage of truth seekers like you, the tide is turning. More people are waking up every day, and the perpetrators can no longer operate in the shadows with impunity. Their days of unchecked power are numbered. Take Planned Parenthood, for example. The walls are closing in on the perverts and murderers. Their director of strategic communications was found dead after police uncovered evidence of a paedophile network at his home. Tim Yergeau, 36, was found dead in his Connecticut apartment from apparent suicide, shortly after he was implicated by police in a child sex investigation. Then there's the story of Bill Taverna, a Planned Parenthood director who openly states that children should be treated as sexual beings from the moment they exit the womb. Speaking to an interviewer in 2012, Taverna argued that online pornography could be useful to youngsters. After The People's Voice exposed Taverna's satanic beliefs, Fox News dug up similar appalling statements from Taverna's Center for Sex Ed and exposed him to their audience. One of these documents, used to indoctrinate Planned Parenthood staff, claims that sexuality is a part of life through all the ages and stages. Babies, elders, and everybody in between can experience sexuality. Planned Parenthood is also an original purveyor of grooming material aimed at children, encouraging prepubescent kids to take hormones to put puberty on hold. Watch this sickening content and ask yourself, is the creepy narrator's voice male or female? And why are they trying to brainwash as many children as possible to delay the onset of puberty?
Your gender identity is real. You should be the one to decide what changes you want to make to your body. If you're transgender or non-binary, you may find that your puberty experiences don't line up with your gender identity or how you see yourself. That feeling can be uncomfortable, scary, and stressful. If that sounds like you, know that you're not alone.
Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the crimes of the elite and waking up as many people as possible before it's too late, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, spread this video far and wide to open minds to what's really happening in the world today, and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored news and views. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet by eliminating the need for big